Okay, I guess we'll just get started. Thank you everyone for joining the Science Abroad Switzerland info session today. So I'm going to start with the land of acknowledgement. We wish to acknowledge this land on which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people from across the Turtle Island, and we're grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. My name is Lexi, and I'm the Science Abroad Switzerland Program Coordinator. I'm joined today by Professor Richard, who will supervise this program. He is currently in Switzerland and will share more details about the course. We also have Jillian, a past participant, who will talk about their experience in the Switzerland program in the past summer. In terms of agenda, I will also introduce the EDIA resources provided by our Summer Abroad office and walk you through the application process. After that, we'll have a Q&A session. Please note this info session is being recorded and will be posted on our website. What is Science Abroad? Science Abroad differs from our regular summer abroad programs. While our regular summer abroad courses are typically 4 weeks long and are course-based, Science Abroad allows students to engage in research at prestigious research facilities, and they are longer, ranging from 7 to 13 weeks. For this Switzerland program, it will be 13 weeks this next summer. You will be assigned an on-site supervisor and work in a lab with local researchers and students. This is a full year U of T credit, not a transfer credit, which can be applied directly towards your degree. This is a great opportunity for students who wish to work in a lab and to gain more hands-on experience. And we don't require you to have previous lab experience before you apply. We only accept a small number of students in each location because each student is going to be paired with one supervisor in the institution. You're going to work closely with your supervisor and also postdocs, graduate students, and peers in the lab. It is also a great way to gain some international experience. Today we'll focus on the Switzerland program. This program is 13 weeks, a week long, and happen in CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research. So you will be staying in Geneva. So Geneva is the second largest city in Switzerland and has a lot of international organizations. Please, I will share more details about accommodation in the next slides, but accommodation will be arranged in an offsite hotel. Please also note, in terms of the meals, you can purchase the meals at the CERN cafeteria, which might be cheaper than the prices you will find in Geneva. In terms of the accommodation, students will be staying in an offsite hotel located around 2.6 kilometers from CERN with easy access to Geneva public transport network. Each studio includes a fully equipped kitchenette, microwave, fridge, coffee machine, stovetop, and kettle, as well as a private bathroom. The hotel also offers a fitness center. Right now, I will invite Professor Richard, to give you more details about the program. I will just stop share.
Hello. So hopefully you can all hear me. The picture that you saw in the background behind me was the tunnel of the Large Hadron Collider. I was actually there many, many years ago when it was being built. You can't go now when it's operating, of course. In the slides that I'm sharing, you can see, first of all, the mountains in the background, the Alps, the Mont Blanc, and then this oval that you see is the shape of the Large Hadron Collider Tunnel, a 27-kilometer ring. You don't actually see it when you arrive at the airport. It's 100 meters underground, but that's the shape that it fits. You can see Lake Geneva in the background, the little line of the airport. And I'm part of a team, first of all, in Toronto. There is an Atlas Toronto group that includes other professors, including myself. There's also Professors Illich, Krieger, Orr, Savard, and Trischuk. Now, Atlas is a worldwide collaboration. You can see in the upper left corner the number of countries that are involved. It's typically over 34 countries. So you see North America, of course, South America, Europe, Asia, also parts of Africa as well. We have institutes, and finally Australia also. Now, the size of the experiment you can see on the right. So there's a little circle with two students standing on the detector. Again, you can't really stand on it, but to give you an idea, that's the size of it. So it's, if you know roughly what a blue whale, it's 1.5 blue whales in length. And it sits 100 meters underground, and it measures collisions 40 million times a second from the LHC. Now, why do we do all this? Why do we build such giant detectors? Well, we have a lot of questions, some of which we've answered. So the most interesting one that we've answered so far is this little H0. So that's, you may have heard of the Higgs boson, and that's what we discovered in 2012 with our collaborators, CMS. And this was a big success. So the standard model is written on a coffee cup. So we certainly like drinking coffee, and that's why we wrote down all the physics essentially on a coffee cup. Now, you may have done electricity and magnetism, and that's what the two F's are. These are, if you have done vectors, maybe you've done tensors, they're 2 dimensions. So that's why it's U and nu. Those are the 2 coordinates of the tensors. And you get Maxwell's equations, etc. They're compressed into this tensor, as it's called. And the rest of the standard model, you see the different fields that are interacting particles. That's this phi. You see particles coupling or being multiplied by coupling to this little phi, and that's the Higgs field. That's how particles get their mass, the way they couple to the Higgs field. And then finally, you see 2 more terms, the coupling of the Higgs field essentially to itself, which we have not yet measured, and the Higgs potential, which we still are studying. And then on the bottom, maybe there's some new physics beyond the standard model. Maybe there's some new physics that's suppressed by a cutoff scale, that lambda. So you'd need more data, higher energies, and maybe we could see that as well. So we've succeeded with the standard model, but we still have a lot of questions. You know, why is the Higgs the mass that it is? We've found that it's actually relatively light, and we don't really know why it doesn't blow up to, say, the Planck scale, and why the universe is stable. You know, if the Higgs were in a slightly different mass, we would essentially all evaporate. We wouldn't be here having this meeting. So it's a very important particle, although it's just sitting there in the background. There are many other questions. You know, why does matter exist? Because as far as we can tell, at the Big Bang, there were equal amounts of matter and antimatter produced. And if you know what antimatter is, it annihilates. It'll destroy all the matter. So we shouldn't be here. There shouldn't be any matter left over, but there is. So that's another question we try to understand. You may have heard of dark matter. You may have heard of dark energy. That's something we have tried to look for. Certainly dark matter. Dark energy is very hard to find. We won't see it in our experiment. Dark matter is also very hard to find, and so far all of our searches have not been able to detect it. There are many other questions. If you know about neutrinos, where did they get their mass from? Is it the Higgs? Is it something else? And finally, gravity. How does that fit in? So that's, again, just an idea with only 10% of the data from the LHC, the Large Hadron Collider. Now, when I say 10%, this is a long time scale. So it actually started in 2008. If you see the time scale, those were the first collisions, but the real data that you could start to take analysis that was useful, it was from 2011. And that has a lifetime up to, well, probably 2041 is probably the lifetime of the Large Hadron Collider. And then there's another experiment that you see on the bottom, another accelerator, the Future Circular Collider. that is still in the planning stage, but it might begin around 2045. So if you do pursue a career in this field, you might actually be alive to see that. I'll probably be retired then, but it's still the long-term future, and we even have people planning from Canada to work on that. It's not approved yet, but we should actually know in the next couple of years how likely that is to get built. So we're here at the end of 2025, and we're going into a shutdown over Christmas, and then in 2026, actually the accelerator will be running when you come. In fact, the very last data taking will be at the end of June. So if you're here at CERN, you'd actually see the last data taking for the LHC until it goes into a long upgrade, and that's what we'll talk about in a minute. So there's a data set you can actually analyze now. So that's part of the project over the summer. And there's also a little bit of work on the upgrade, as we will talk about in a minute. So that's roughly the scope over many decades. This is just one picture of a collision in the upgraded detector. So we're reaching the end of what we can do with the existing Atlas detector, and we're actually at the end of next year going to start taking out the heart of the detector and rebuilding its tracking detector. That's what gives you all these lines of tracks. This is a simulated collision at the high luminosity LHC, and it's just showing you that our current detector would not survive that. So part of the work can be learning about the upgrade. And the area we focus in Toronto is something called a silicon microstrip detector, an inner tracker. So it's about 200 square meters of computer chips. So that would cover, I don't know, your parents' house, both floors. It's that much amount of computer chips that we're building. And some of those we're building in Toronto. So you can see just little snapshots. This is just one of the thousands of modules in the center with all these sort of little gold readout chips, and then the silver is the active, the silicon. It's a bit like something like the camera in your iPhone, but this is radiation hard. Your iPhone wouldn't survive in our detector. It would die immediately because of the radiation and magnetic fields. So we're actually building these also in Toronto. There's a clean room underground, the Department of Physics. And we do that together with a company called Celestica, which is, I've written here 6 billion. I think it's now an $18 billion company. Its headquarters are in Toronto. It was a former IBM plant. It was founded by a U of T graduate. And that's our industrial partner that has a clean room. You can see some of the equipment in the room that's used to build these modules. So some of these are built in Toronto and some are built at Celestica. And then we work, of course, worldwide with our partners, both in Canada and around the world, to assemble all of this detector for 2029. It's got to all be working then. And then the last picture is just a few snapshots of some of the people, both students, postdocs, fellows, and faculty that have worked in the past. In this case, you see a lot of pictures at Celestica, but also in our clean room at Toronto. So again, lots of smiling faces, people all having to gown up in the clean room if you've ever worked in a clean room. And finally, one last note. This year, we, together with the Atlas team, received the Breakthrough Prize in Fundamental Physics. So that was sort of a bit of news. Okay, that was a quick summary, and I'll hand it back to you, Lexi, to continue.
Sure. Thank you so much, Richard. This is super helpful. Let me just share my screen. Yeah, thank you, Richard. So now I will just invite Jillian, who is a past participant for the Science Abroad program. Jillian, do you mind unmute?
Yeah, hi. So I'm Jillian. I did this program last year. Um, so a little bit about me. This year, I'm fourth year mathematics and physics specialist. I've always been interested in high energy physics and like physics at the subatomic level, the fundamental level. And so being able to go to CERN where they're actively probing this, and work on a project for a few months under Dr. Teuscher and Dr. Illich was I guess a dream come true. Um, and so for our specific project, we were coding up a minimal viable product for a server for the upcoming upgrade that we've been talking about, the ITK upgrade for the high luminosity LHC. And yeah, it's a it's a great experience because the Atlas collaboration is international. There are many people working on it, and you really get to get a good feel for what it's like to be experimental physicist in this field. Um, and yeah, and then this photo of me is from me from Zurich. One of the great things about Geneva is that it's it's like centrally located in Europe, and they have lots of trains. So one of the weekends I was able to go visit Zurich. Um, but yeah, and then one last thing I'd like to say is that there is a lecture series towards the end. So it's in the month of July, I believe. And there you get like physicists from all across Europe. They'll give, 3, 4 lectures on various different topics, and they run for the whole semester and like for the whole month. And that was really great to get insights on, experimental physics and quantum field theory and acceleration technology. And yeah, so I highly recommend it.
Experience. Oh, sorry. So now let's so sorry. Now let's look at the eligibility requirements for the course. So it's a physics course, Physics 396Y0, which is designed for students with a strong interest in the physical science and who are comfortable working with advanced software. Well, we don't have specific programming languages requirements, but familiar with C and C or C++ can be an asset. Students must have completed at least 8.5 credits, and no more than 17 full course equivalents by the start of the program. So, for example, like April 2026. So typically we are targeting like third-year physics students, because we'll feel like third-year physics students, they could like benefit more from the program because they've already have like the language the knowledges from the classes they've taken, and they could really use the language and use the knowledge and apply it to solving the real life programs. And yeah, we have a minimum CGPA requirement of 3.0. So, well, if you have like fewer than 8.5 credits or like more than 17 FCEs, but you are like really interested in the program, please feel free to reach out to us and to like share your background with us. Okay, so the application will open on December the 5th. The deadline for the program is January 14th, 2026 at 4 p.m. So you are asked to submit the online applications through our Summer Abroad website. Students are required to pay the $210 non-refundable application fee, and there will also be a recorded video interview component. Yeah. When we review your application, we'll look at your academic record from the past 12 months and assess whether you meet the course prerequisites, as well as the relevance of the course to your program of study. In the online application, you will be asked to provide a personal statement and respond to some supplemental questions, which are an important part of the evaluation. We would like to understand why you're interested in the program, how it will support your academic development, and what your academic plans are. There will also be a recorded video assessment through Kira Talent, where you will be asked a couple of questions about adaptability and other general topics. Additional information will be provided once your application is submitted. Yeah, so in terms of the admission decisions, we plan to send out the admission notifications by late January or early February. If accepted, you will have 1 week to confirm your participation by paying a non-refundable 1,000 deposit. If you decide to decline the offer, you will not get your application feedback. And the remaining fees are due in March. Yeah, in terms of budget, currently we don't have the confirmed program cost posted on our website yet. All cost information will be updated by early December, so please stay tuned. At that time, you will be able to see a full cost breakdown, including what you will pay to U of T directly, and also the expenses you should budget for independently. Typically, the course fee, accommodation, and incidental fees are paid directly to U of T. You will be responsible for arranging and paying your own flights, local transportations, meals, and other on-site expenses. Once you confirm your participation, we'll provide more details and information about how to get there and how to expect upon arrival. For students considering this program, we strongly recommending you to begin plan your budget now. Please check with your registrar's office, the Faculty of Arts and Science, and your own departments for possible awards or bursary opportunities. Our summer abroad office also offers summer abroad awards, ranging from around 2,000 to 7,000. The award application is embedded in the online program application. When you apply to the program, you will simply indicate whether you would also like to be considered for these awards opportunities. The deadline for the awards is the same as the program application, so like January 14th. We strongly recommend you to considering applying for these awards or bursary opportunities. Since the course are U of T courses, they are eligible for OSEP. If you are currently on OSEP, you can simply apply for the OSEP extension for the summer. Please do note that the OSEP funds are typically released close to the program start date, which means you will need to pay your U of T fees before you actually receive your OSEP funding. Students may also apply for the International Experience, i.e. Awards Plus, through the CIE office, Center for International Experience. Please check the CIE website for any eligibility criteria and also application details. We also gonna host a How to Finance Your Summer Abroad webinar on January the 8th at 2 p.m. We highly recommend you to register for this session to stay informed. Since you will be entering a new country, in terms of entry requirements, please note that students are responsible for arranging their own visa. We will be providing the supporting letters, but you will need to book the visa appointments yourself. If you do need a visa, we highly recommend you to apply in Toronto if possible. Also, please make sure to schedule your visa appointment early. For Switzerland, Canadian citizens are require a passport valid for at least 3 months beyond the date you expect to leave. And starting on October the 12th, 2025, they have launched the Entry Exit System, EES. So the EES is an automated registration system for travelers from countries outside the European Union or the Schengen area. You will be required to register through the system upon arrival at the border of any of the 29 countries in the Schengen area. You don't need to take any actions before you travel. The EES will collect information about your trip as well as your facial and fingerprints. International students must check with their own embassy or consulate for any entry requirements. We recommend you to review the terms and conditions of travel, health, and flight insurance. So the Summer Abroad Office is dedicated to EDIA initiatives and offers a variety of resources to support student communities. Studying abroad will be exciting, but also exploring a new country and culture, which can also bring challenges. We encourage you to explore our EDIA resources as you consider summer abroad opportunities that aligns with your needs. For students who require accommodations, students who require accommodations should register with their campus accessibility services office so that an accommodation plan can be put in place for the course. Letter of accommodation must be uploaded to the application portal like within 7 days after being admitted into the summer abroad program. Please also note that the range of accommodations may differ from country to country. We cannot guarantee that sites will be able to offer all the accommodations that are available at U of T. Students are strongly encouraged to contact the summer abroad office as early as possible to discuss which site might best suit their needs so that we may provide the best possible student experience. Yeah. We also offer the Summer Abroad Inclusion, Diversity, and Excellence Awards. So you can find all the full details on our website. So each year, 4 students will receive a 5,000 EDIA award, and this award is open to like undergrad students participating in the summer abroad program, and is based on their academic achievements, financial need, and meaningful contributions to the advancement of equity, diversity, and inclusion. So in terms of the Science World timeline, so basically early December, we'll be posting like more information about our program, cost details through our website, and we recommend you to start researching programs and funding opportunities through all the divisions and departments. And on December 5th at 10 a.m., our application will open. So basically, you will be asked to create a profile on the Summer Abroad application system through our Summer Abroad website. Through November, December, and January, we recommend you to register for and attend different program information sessions and like the how to finance your summer abroad sessions. On January 14th at 4 p.m., that's the deadline to submit your application for Science Abroad programs and also the awards application. By February to March, please keep an eye on your email for admission notifications. And 1 week after the admission notification, you are asked to pay a 1,000 deposit to confirm your spot. By March or April, that's when you need to pay all the remaining fees and also attend the pre-departure orientation. And during May to August, that's when you head abroad to start your summer abroad program. Yeah, and also we are quite active on Instagram. You can follow U of T Abroad to see more past students' experience and to stay connected. Yeah, here are more information about how to connect with us. So basically visit summerabroad.utoronto.ca, our website. And also we encourage you to attend program information sessions and please follow us on Instagram. We also have the summary with the monthly e-newsletter. Please subscribe. And anytime if you have any questions, feel free to book a virtual appointment with any of the summer abroad advisors. How to book appointment you can find through our website as well. You are welcome to join the Discord group. So basically, you are able to speak with summer abroad ambassadors and past students. If you have any questions, feel free to send us an email through summer.abroad@utoronto.ca. If you have any questions specific to Science Abroad, you can send us email to science.abroad@utoronto.ca. So yeah, thank you very much. If you have any questions, you know where to find us. So But it should be fine. Thank you so much. I think we'll just end our seminar here. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Jillian, and my colleagues, Wendy and Selena and Zenab at the background. So if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to us by email or like just visit our website. Thank you so much. Wishing you a wonderful day.
Bye for now then. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.